This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Were thinking a fire might be close to their home. Now they're panicking because they saw something on social media.
Tonight, a warning to be wary of online images of wildfires and why AI fakes pose a serious life safety risk.
Unfortunately, it's taken its toll to a lot of people.
Remembering lives lost on the job and a call to action over mental health in the workforce. Plus, Adam finds out how a little movie theater inspired a big-hearted proposal on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. In BC's backcountry, AI technology has proven to be a powerful wildfire fighting tool. But this year, experts say AI also poses a significant risk when it comes to spreading misinformation in potentially life-saving moments. CTV's Anna McMillan has some tips on how to safeguard yourself from online traps.
Okay, so I'm going to take a photo of this tree.
A photo this digital literacy educator is going to doctor with the help of artificial intelligence.
So I'm going to take the photo, pop it into everyone's favorite AI bot.
From there, he prompts ChatGPT to change the original image.
Make the tree look like it's on fire.
And just like that, the tree is ablaze.
You can get something that might be able to fool an average person who's just quickly scrolling by.
That's a source of concern for the BC Wildfire Service. It's advising people to watch out for AI-generated images of wildfires that are fake.
These fabricated images can just cause unnecessarily public fear or anxiety.
That wildfire information officer says this was a problem last year, making it more difficult for people to understand what was actually happening on the ground.
They also make our work a lot more difficult because people might see misinformation out there related to us, and we have to say, no, that's not right.
Brandon Lohr says it could also lead to wasted time and money in critical moments.
If now emergency crews are operating in what they believe an image might be real, but it's actually fake. Now they're spending resources and time in areas that they could spend elsewhere.
The Wildfire Service is warning people images that are particularly cinematic or have bright flames and unmarked aircraft could be fake.
It's getting harder, even for professionals, to decipher that.
Which is why your best bet is to know where your information is coming from.
If you see information from us, that is the most factual information at that time you can get. And also just make sure, just to keep that little check in your head, like, is this coming from an official source?
The province says those sources include government social media channels, websites and apps, and trusted news organizations. Anna McMillan, CTV News, Langford.
3 early season wildfires are burning on Vancouver Island right now. BC's Wildfire Service says the largest is currently near Errington, just west of Parksville. The Robotham Lake fire is roughly 2 hectares in size, considered under control. Fires near Port Alberni and Lake Cowichan are all under a hectare in size. Currently, there are no burning bans on the island, but fire officials say it is unseasonably dry right now and to be extra vigilant. Good news for hikers and backcountry campers on Vancouver Island. The province says repairs along the popular Juan de Fuca Marine Trail are nearing completion and a full reopening is expected this summer. The trail was closed following extensive damage from fall and winter storms in 2024 and 2025. BC Parks says crews are finishing up work on washed out sections that include damaged bridges and unstable slopes. The 47-kilometer trail stretches along Vancouver Island's southwest coast from China Beach to Botanical Beach and is one of the region's most popular backcountry hiking routes. Tourism in the capital region is a key economic driver, providing jobs, tax revenue, and a vibrancy that makes living here so attractive. Although for a region that relies on places for tourists to stay, we have lost hundreds of hotel rooms over the past decade, and that is bad for business. As CTV's Brendan Strain shows us, developers believe now is the time to build those much-needed accommodations.
The Beachlands is a 54-hectare oceanfront development site in Colwood.
There will be 2,850 homes across the entirety of the site,
including a variety of commercial space. The developers, Seacliff Properties, along with Reliance Properties, says an opportunity for the site has emerged as tourism in the capital region continues to thrive.
The corresponding shortage of hotels has become increasingly apparent, including on the West Shore.
On March 9th, Colwood Council approved the rezoning application for 2 new hotels to be built at Beachlands, which could lead to the addition of 300 new rooms to the capital region's hotel inventory.
We haven't built many hotels in this region in the last 20 years.
The CEO of Destination Greater Victoria says since 2016, the region has lost 25% of its hotel spaces. And now we are short roughly 2,000 rooms, and that is bad for business.
There's no super crisis, but we're missing an economic opportunity.
A working group has been established with a lofty goal of bringing upwards of 20 new hotels to the region over the next decade. On Broad Street in downtown Victoria, one new hotel is currently under construction that, when finished, will provide 167 new rooms. It's the first hotel to be built in the core in nearly 2 decades.
The condo market has slowed down substantially, and there are a ton of rentals being built.
Scott Davies with Cube Project Management has developed a number of residential dwellings, predominantly on the Saanich Peninsula. Now his company is hoping to make a pivot, purchasing this lot on Rockland Avenue in Victoria. It was slated to be a 22-unit condo development. Now he wants to build a 30-unit boutique hotel on the same footprint.
We've got a mix of sort of studios, 1-bedrooms, and even a few 2-bedroom units.
The company is in the early stages of the approval process with the city and hopes to have it built by the end of next year.
Talk to anybody, any tourist here in the summertime, there's a shortage. They're having to pay rates that are way beyond what they used to have to pay.
Hotel development also delivers major economic and civic benefits.
Seacliff Properties says the new hotels will benefit both the city of Colwood and the region as a whole, while providing the future commercial operators at Beachlands a steady customer base. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Victoria.
Some people living with brain injuries on Vancouver Island are turning to unconventional options in the search for relief. A new study suggests a small number of traumatic brain injury survivors are self-medicating with psychedelics like magic mushrooms to manage ongoing symptoms. The study from the University of Victoria has found some brain injury survivors are turning to psychedelics to manage lingering symptoms like headaches, mood changes, and cognitive difficulties. Researchers analyzed more than 6,000 responses from the Global Psychedelics Survey and found nearly 1,200 people had used psychedelics for a physical health condition, a little more than 200 of them, or 3%, specifically to cope with brain injury-related symptoms.
We know that brain injury and traumatic brain injury is a growing public health crisis, and that people who are survivors of brain injury deal with a multitude of symptoms. And for a lot of people, they will try alternative treatments. It might be cannabis, it might be psychedelics, but they will experiment. And so what we can do is offer this information to other researchers and say this needs to continue to be studied because people are doing it anyways.
Researchers say most respondents reported some symptom improvement and say clinical trials are needed to better understand safety, potential risks, and benefits. Vancouver Island has one of the highest reported concussion and TBI rates in BC, tied to falls, sports, and vehicle crashes. Psychedelics remain illegal in Canada outside limited federal exemptions. Today is the National Day of Mourning for Workplace Injury and Illness, a day where communities across the province gather to remember those who've lost their lives on the job and to ensure every worker makes it home safe to their families. This was the scene today over the lunch hour at the Pioneer Waterfront Plaza in Nanaimo, a moment of silence to pay respects to fallen workers. Similar events also took place up and down Vancouver Island, and this year's Day of Mourning came with a call to action to do more to prevent psychological injuries.
Bullying, harassment, could be all sorts of different aspects. Stressed out because of their job, high cost of living, worried about feeding their families. It's all mental stuff, right? And unfortunately, it's taken its toll to a lot of people.
In 2025, 138 people lost their lives on the job in BC. A newly built roundabout in Nanaimo is already being torn out and rebuilt. The city of Nanaimo says crews noticed the roundabout at the east entrance to Bevan Park had cracking in the concrete, and they later determined the work did not meet required specifications. After further testing, the decision was made to remove and redo the concrete. The city says the work is under warranty and is being completed by the original contractor at no cost to the city. Access to Bevan Park from the east side will remain closed for up to a month during construction. 12 degrees. There is a warm-up on the way. Josh has the details with the full forecast coming up. A little on the the cool side on the island today, Josh, but things are warming up tomorrow.
Warm and dry for the next several days across most of the island. Skies clearing overnight tonight. Lots of sunshine for most areas tomorrow. And then we'll get a little bit of extra cloud cover, especially further to the north through the day Thursday. I think we're still under mainly sunny skies Thursday in and around Victoria. Friday, we get some increasing cloud cover. Morning fog patches in the north tomorrow, 15 degrees, mixed sun and cloud. A little cloudier there for Thursday, and then some clearing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A little warming as we head into the weekend as well. 18 Saturday, up to 22 on Sunday. 14 degrees is the average daytime high. Warm start to the month of May. Inland areas looking at some sunshine tomorrow for most of the day after the fog burns off early in the morning. About 23 degrees tomorrow, 22 and a mixed sun and cloud on Thursday. And after a little bit of a dip there Friday, back into the low 20s Saturday and Sunday. Out of the west coast, morning fog patches, then sunshine and 15 degrees in the afternoon. Stays warm right through the end of the weekend into the weekend. A little cloudier, though, for Thursday, Friday. We'll get some clearing on Saturday and back to a decent amount of sunshine Sunday. Daytime highs in the 15 to 20 degree range for the next 5 days. Comox, mainly sunny, 18 degrees tomorrow, 19 on Thursday, and low 20s in the forecast with sunshine Saturday and Sunday. That's a handful of degrees above average. In Nanaimo, mainly sunny for the next couple of days, and then some increased cloud cover there on Friday. Highs in the mid to upper teens for the next few days, and then low 20s, 21 and 22 Saturday, Sunday with sunshine on the way for the coming weekend. And in Victoria, 7 degrees tomorrow morning, mainly sunny. High of about 18 tomorrow afternoon. Wind stays fairly light for most of the Victoria area. Down closer to the water, you probably see a little bit stronger wind, up around 30 kilometers per hour. Sunshine 19 on Thursday. Back to 17 with some increased cloud cover Friday, but low 20s in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday. You can see at the bottom of the screen, average daytime high is 15. So well above average right through the next 5 days.
Thanks, Josh. Prime Minister Mark Carney and his government unveiled a spring economic statement today. While signaling a decreased deficit ahead of the update, the numbers tell a different story. As CTV's Mike LeCouture reports, there's not a lot of new measures to help with affordability.
It's more than just an economic update, proposing $37.5 billion in new measures over 5 years. A part of that includes a new skills training program. The government hopes to recruit, train, and hire between 80 and 100,000 skilled tradespeople by 2031. The cost of the program is $5.9 billion.
This means real pathways into skilled trades with paid training and on experience. It means more opportunities for employers to hire and train young workers.
While the deficit was $11 billion lower this year compared to last fall's projection, the long-term outlook is largely unchanged, with no path to balance for the next 5 years. And the deficit will remain over $50 billion into the 2030-31 fiscal year.
Today's Liberal fiscal updates brings more costs, more debt, and more bills on the national credit card. This Prime Minister is just another Liberal.
Royalties from high oil prices are contributing to government revenues, but Canada is facing fiscal headwinds from the ongoing trade war with its largest trading partner.
Together, we can chart a path forward to the fog of uncertainty, because Canada has what the world wants and increasingly needs. We have the right plan. We're building big. We're moving fast.
In addition to yesterday's announcement of the Canada Sovereign Fund, there is other new spending. $755 million over 5 years to support Canada's sports system, including Olympic athletes, and $4.3 billion for Indigenous communities. There is one pocketbook measure Canadians could feel. The government is reducing the contribution rate for the Canada Pension Plan. Someone earning $70,000 per year will get to keep $133 more of their take-home pay annually. But there are a few other new measures to help Canadians on a daily basis.
I think what it demonstrates is the high fiscal cost to the government of trying to introduce new pocketbook saving measures for Canadians. It is very expensive.
Pressed on that, the finance minister pointed to measures like bolstering the grocery and essentials benefit, as well as suspending the excise tax on gasoline until Labor Day, as ways the government is helping Canadians deal with the affordability crisis. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
King Charles and Queen Camilla were welcomed to the White House today for an historic state visit at a time of strained relations between Donald Trump and the UK government. All of that was put aside as the White House rolled out the red carpet. With more, here's CTV's Joy Malbin in Washington.
A grand show at the White House, pomp and ceremony, pulling out all the stops for the royals. Even on America's 250th anniversary of breaking away from Britain, the president adores the monarchy, and so did his mother.
She loved the royal family, and she loved the Queen. I also remember her saying very clearly, Charles, look, young Charles, he's so cute. My mother. My mother had a crush on Charles.
No hint of tension here, but the King's diplomatic challenge is to smooth over the strained special relationship over the U.S. war with Iran. Trump lashed out at NATO allies and UK's Prime Minister for a lack of perceived support.
This is not Winston Churchill that we're dealing with.
For American royal watcher Rashad Thomas, mixed feelings about this visit.
I'm offended by President's attacks on Canada, slagging the Royal Navy not long ago, and the British Prime Minister, and it's just really not the way you treat allies.
The first ever British king to address Congress, Charles acknowledged the attempt on the president's life.
Such acts of violence will never succeed. Whatever our differences, whatever disagreements we may have, we stand united in our commitment to uphold democracy.
And despite political friction, a reminder of a long shared history and values.
From the bitter divisions of 250 years ago, we forged a friendship that has grown into one of the most consequential alliances in human history.
What's not on the schedule, meeting with Epstein survivors, the King's younger brother Andrew questioned by police, stripped of his royal titles over his dealings with the pedophile.
Tonight, a royal banquet where the president was very much involved, calling it an honor, telling the BBC that the King's visit will go a long way in healing any friction. Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
Coming up, Big Love, Little Movie. Adam finds out the story behind an unexpected cinematic marriage proposal. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
You see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Finally, Adam finds out how a little movie theater inspired a big-hearted marriage proposal on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
After she first peered through the tiny windows on that wall during a date,
I love it!
And discovered a miniature movie theater inside,
It's so good!
Nikki and her partner Megan would regularly stop to watch the short films screened here.
So random and strange and wonderful and whimsical.
The couple first connected online during the pandemic, and for the first 2 months, only texted.
And she was interesting and intriguing enough to keep up texting, and I'm not a good texter.
And by the time they finally met each other in person, it just felt right.
When you meet someone and you know, things naturally evolve.
Along with embarking on all sorts of adventures, from hot places to cold places, Megan started doodling quirky characters to document all the wonderful memories they made, from the big to the small.
It was like a slow, steady climb.
And you eventually fall in love.
We fell in love, yeah.
And talked about getting married before Megan started planning to propose.
I had to be really sneaky, which is hard for me.
Which brings us to that night they drove past the Little Free Cinema.
I was so nervous. I was like sweaty nervous.
Nikki, on the other hand, was simply curious about why it was all lit up and framed with flowers and asked to stop.
I went to go watch it, walked up to the path through the candles, pressed play, started watching it, and
although Megan had never animated anything before, Nikki saw that she'd transformed all her quirky drawings into a stop-motion celebration of their love story that ended with a proposal.
I turned around shocked, and she was standing there with a little bouquet of flowers, and it was just fabulous.
Nikki said yes, and Megan couldn't have been more grateful to see her now fiancé's heartfelt reaction.
This is so good. It was like, oh, thank God. Like relief, but also like, yes, absolutely.
Because although their relationship began on a small screen and this proposal was produced for a wee one, Nikki and Megan have no doubt their love story will keep growing until it can't be contained by the biggest screens of all. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
What a sweet proposal. That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening.